Welcome back to another episode of E-Weekly, your home for campus news. This week we'll be discussing new programs on campus, EMU's Poetry Society, and more. Alexis Barron has the dish, Gabrielle Reed has Eagle Encounters, and we have you in mind. This is E-Weekly.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Eastern Weekly, your place to get the swoop on the scoop. I'm Sarah Poderacki, and to my left is our new anchor. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you, Sarah. I'm Natalia Ypsilanti, and I'm so glad to be here today. Our former anchor, Nina Maria Badalamenti, will now be doing field reports for the rest of the semester.
Awesome. I've really enjoyed my time working with Nina, and I wish her continued success working as a field reporter, but I'm super excited to work with you in the future.
Me too. Well, I'm ready to get started when you are, Sarah. You're up first.
Starting in the fall semester of 2019, the College of Business will be offering a new program option. The Master of Science in Finance program was approved by the Board of Regents last February and is only one of 4 accredited programs of its kind in the state. Our program is unique as it is the only one with a STEM designation. This designation means the program really hones in on quantitative skills, analytics, and critical thinking skills. The program was specifically built to enable students to sit for all 3 levels of the Chartered Financial Analyst exams. Those interested can apply for the initial cohort with an early admission deadline of December 1st and a standard admission deadline of February 1st in 2019. With an estimated 12% increase in financial analyst positions between 2014 and 2024, this new program could mean a solid future for a few lucky students.
Close to home, an EMU student passed away this past Thursday. The student was a 20-year-old male. He was a member of the marching band equipment staff. The student was found unresponsive in an office in Alexander Music Hall. When the student was found, he was transported to St. Joseph Mercy Ann Arbor Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. His death appears to be caused from a medical condition. The university sent out an email last Thursday evening to inform students and to send out their sympathies. The marching band honored the student by performing a tribute to him during the football game that happened this past Saturday. The university is prepared to provide counseling and psychological services to students through CAPS. Students may schedule an appointment to meet with a counselor during business hours, and they may also schedule one after hours. The after hours are the weekends and during the evenings. The telephone number to call CAPS for regular hours and after hours is 734-487-1118.
Back in March of this year, students received an email announcing the elimination of 4 of EMU's sports programs. In September, U.S. District Judge George Karamsky ruled that EMU was in violation of Title IX and ordered both sides to appear in his courtroom at the end of October. On November 2nd, EMU released a media statement to update the community on this case. According to the statement, EMU has taken the first step in the process of developing opportunities to increase women's athletic participation. They are beginning to accept applications for a women's tennis head coach. As we move forward, Eastern will be working towards a more permanent solution in order to ensure compliance and make EMU the best environment it can be for students. At the end of the statement, we are reminded that EMU is committed to a non-discriminatory environment. This month, we can look forward to meetings with students in order to discuss campus interest in other women's sports.
As of the night of November 6th, Beth Bashert was elected as the new mayor of Ypsilanti. I actually got the chance to meet her at her election watch party that took place at the Tap Room in Ypsilanti. The mayor election was a unique one this time around. All candidates were women, and 2 of these women were women of color. Bashert told me, quote, "Seeing women come together and step up is exciting," end quote. Bashert said she spent time on our campus on election day at the Honors College. Bashert told me, quote, "Of all things that happened today, I was most energized by my interactions with students today. It was just really a joy to me," end quote. I also spent time at the Honors College on election day. Riley Hayes, an EMU student, said she was excited to vote and make a difference. Bashert has 3 generations living in Ypsilanti and said the city is very important to her.
Up next, Nina has the field report for the week with the Poetry Society. Then, after the break, we'll talk about last week's election, followed by coverage on the resignation of former Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Eastern has a lot of creative minds around campus, and Lyric Lounge is just one of the outlets used to debut their talents. Let's take a look and see what Lyric Lounge is all about.
My favorite part about Lyric Lounge is the love from the crowd. Like, the Lyric Lounge crowd is one of the nicest. They're very energetic, but they're also very forgiving. You know, a lot of different people get on the stage. They bear their hearts, they bear their talent, good, bad, or otherwise. We acknowledge them, we praise them, and we don't show them any disrespect or make them feel uncomfortable.
So my name is Justin Walters. I'm the current president of the Poetry Society, and I've been affiliated with Poetry Society for about 2 years, but I've been an active member for, 1.5 years now. My favorite part would probably be like the openness. It really gives a lot of people who wouldn't have a chance to share poetry just a platform to do so freely without judgment, so that's what I like the most.
We just come together and we kind of do this art in a traumatic way to get through our traumas with each other and laugh, and we have Sunday dinners and Sunday meetings and 2 big shows, Do What You Do and TCOD on campus, and just being a part of those have really changed my perspective on a lot of things and helped me cope through being a college student here on campus and just expressing myself through art and meeting new people who do the same. Meetings Sunday in the Keeper Room in the Student Center at 5:30 to 7 every Sunday.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Are you an EMU student interested in getting a first-hand experience working at a radio station? Well, say no more. EMU offers a class through Eagle Radio that will thoroughly prepare you for a real-life experience. But first, you have to register for the class. Pick a date and a time slot. Then the world is yours. Eagle Radio allows you to be fully independent and customize your own show. Have real conversations about the news, celebrity gossip, update listeners about the weather, play a trivia game. It's your show. You're free to name your show whatever you want and play any edited music of your choice. If you love having heated debates and you feel your words need to be heard, then Eagle Radio is just for you.
Welcome back, everyone. We have a couple more stories to share with you, and then we'll head over to the dish with Alexis. So take it away, Sarah.
On November 6th, Americans got out and voted in the midterm elections. One result was the passing of Michigan's Proposal 1, the Marijuana Legalization Initiative. This initiative will legalize recreational possession and use of marijuana for people 21 and older. University Communications released a timely response to update students on the legality of marijuana on EMU's campus. Since EMU receives federal funds, they are obligated under federal law to maintain a drug-free campus. Digging in deeper, EMU is subject to the Drug-Free Workplace Act of 1988 and the Drug-Free Schools and Communities Act Amendment of 1989, which both prohibit controlled substances on campuses. Since the drug is still classified by federal law as an illegal controlled substance, no form of marijuana, including medicinal, is allowed. Moral of the story? While Proposal 1 may have passed, students still cannot possess or use marijuana while on campus.
Last Thursday, a Nobody Above the Law rally took place outside of the Ann Arbor Federal Building. Hundreds of activists gathered to protest the forced resignation of former U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Activists believe President Donald Trump is trying to take away independence from the Robert Mueller investigation. Although many protesters do not agree with everything Sessions believes, they are looking at the bigger picture. Protesters do not trust the new acting Attorney General, Matthew Whitaker. They believe he may shut down the investigation or do shady things to interfere. Many protesters held signs saying truth, justice, protect Mueller, and let Mueller do his job. People driving by the rally honked their horns, and some got out to join the activists. Ann Arbor is not the only city that held a Nobody's Above the Law rally. Major cities across the country held rallies to defend the Mueller investigation. Detroit, Grand Rapids, Jackson, Brighton, and Ferndale also held protests in Michigan.
And now we'll head over to Alexis with the dish.
Hello, Ypsilanti. I hope you are all getting used to this chilly weather we've been having. As always, I'm your host, Alexis Barrett, here to bring you the dish. As usual, our very own Eastern Michigan alumni are doing great things for the members of our community. For this week's show, I'd like to spotlight EMU alumni Ryan Griffin, owner of the well-established barbershop, Griff's Unlimited Cuts in Ypsilanti. Griffin is using his barbershop to not only improve hairstyles, but also children's literacy. Griffin studied African American studies during his time as a student at EMU and was quite aware of how deeply barbershops can play a role in African American culture. A few years back, Griffin was reading an article about barbers in other states who were stocking their shops with books aimed at their youngest clients in order to help them build a love for reading. He was inspired by these efforts to increase youth literacy and built a bookshelf for his own barbershop that very night. He gathered up all the books that he had on hand that his children had outgrown and set up a library. All of the books in the library have a positive outlook of famous and successful African Americans, and it has grown immensely from donations across the country. Now, children who read while getting their haircut at Griff's Unlimited Cuts and answer questions about the book's content can either get $2 for themselves to keep or give a $2 discount to their parents. Giving kids this incentive is a brilliant and simple way to motivate children to read more and will hopefully help them find a newfound love and appreciation for literature. Griffin has helped and inspired many barbershops to follow in his footsteps, and he plans on continuing his literacy mission by donating even more books and more bookshelves to startup barbershop libraries around Southeast Michigan. That's all for the dish. Up next is sports with Dave Anderson after the break. I'm Alexis Barrett, and I'll see you next week.
So I tried logging into my .emish account and it wouldn't let me in. So I went down to the help desk and they said I had already changed my password. No I didn't. Shortly after that, my apartment was broken into. Yeah, if you put two and two together, you know where they go, my address. They got my password, got onto my .emish account, and stole my class schedule and my home address. They knew when I wasn't gonna be home. I should have known that a password of ABCD1234 isn't too hard to guess. Now, I'm more careful about choosing a password. I take a word that's 8 to 10 letters long that isn't too personal to me, and I change some characters around. For example, the word college, C-O-L-L-E-G-E. I can change the L's to 7s and the E's to question marks. Don't use college, okay? You have passwords for a reason. Take the time to make one that is unique and easy for you to remember, yet hard for someone else to figure out. My name is Daniel, and I'm trying to be safe.
Human beings. Welcome back. The Eastern Michigan football team came out on top against the Akron Zips this past Saturday in a strong defensive performance and a fourth quarter explosion. After a chilly pregame senior day ceremony, the Eagles scored midway through the first quarter after an 83-yard drive that finished with an Ian Erickson 1-yard touchdown run. Erickson had a strong afternoon overall as he ran for 96 yards on 15 carries. The Eagles tacked on a field goal in the second quarter, but a 70-yard punt return from the Akron Zips had the Zips knocking on the door and going into halftime. Both teams' offenses were quiet as the score remained 10-7 heading into the fourth quarter. EMU's defense began to light up as the Eagles intercepted the Zips on 3 straight possessions, including a one-handed grab by Kevin McGill, earning him a spot on SportsCenter's top 10 plays. Max Crosby also made a juggling one-handed snag in the end zone for a pick 6 to give the Eagles a 17-7 lead. Crosby's performance against Akron earned him MAC Defensive Player of the Week. There was no turning back after the pick 6 for the Eagles as they cruised to a 27-7 victory. The Eagles improved to 6-5 on the season and are bowl eligible for the second time in 3 seasons. After 11 straight weeks, the Eagles finally get a bye week. The final game for the Eagles will take place next week, November 23rd at Kent State for a 12 o'clock start. This is the first time the Eagles and Golden Flash will meet up on the gridiron since 2012. The EMU volleyball team finished strong as they head into the Mid-American Conference tournament with a win over the NIU Huskies. Mallory Rajewski had a career night in her final regular season game of her career. Down in DeKalb, Rajewski recorded 56 assists, which ties the modern era record for assists in a 4-set match. This is the first time an Eagle has recorded 55 assists since Jill Briner did in the 2013 season. Not to be outdone in her final regular season game, but Jordan Smith also recorded a career high with 27 kills, which also ties her for the most in the modern statistical era. Cassie Hout had a strong game also with an attack percentage of .367, while Alyssa Lafache led the team with 24 digs. With this win, the Eagles finished their season 17-13 overall and a 9-7 record in the MAC, both career-high win totals for head coach Kimmy Olsen. The Eagles also secure the 5th spot in the MAC tournament and will take on the 8th seed Kent State this Thursday at 4:30 on the campus of Miami University. The EMU men's basketball team is underway, and it's looking like they're going to have a strong season for the Eagles. In the preseason poll, EMU was selected to finish in first place in the MAC West as they received 17 total first-place votes. EMU may have collected the majority of first-place votes, but it should be an interesting division as all 6 teams received at least 1 first-place vote. In the East, Buffalo ran away with a unanimous first-place finish as they collected all 35 first-place votes. Buffalo is coming off their incredibly successful season as they won the MAC last year and also knocked off number 4 seed Arizona in the NCAA National Tournament. The success looks to continue for the Bulls as they are predicted to win the MAC as EMU tied with Toledo for the 2nd most votes to win the MAC. James Thompson and Elijah Minnie added to their preseason recognition as they were both selected to the All-MAC West Division preseason poll. So far, the EMU men's basketball team has 3 games under their belt, and they're off to a 3-0 start. Last Tuesday, the Eagles hosted Rochester to start the season off and topped the Warriors 77-67. Paul Jackson led the way for the Eagles with a career-high 27 points, and he also added 7 assists to his line. Boubacar Touré had an impressive showing also as he debuted with 15 points and 15 rebounds in his first game in the green and white. The Eagles hosted the Drexel Dragons on Friday morning for Education Day, and the Eagles scraped by with a 66-62 victory. The 3,000-plus crowd enjoyed another 20-point performance from Jackson and another double-double from Touré. Finally, on Sunday, the Eagles rolled the Goshen Maple Leafs 97-74, outscoring them 54-33 in the first half. Elijah Minnie started in his first game of the season after nursing a bad ankle, and he led the way with 17 points in just 18 minutes. 4 Eagles scored 10 points, and everyone but Ty Gross scored for EMU in the game against Goshen. Next up for the Eagles, none other than the Duke Blue Devils, the number 1 seed in the country. They go head-to-head tonight, November 14th at 7 p.m. Check that one out on ESPN3 and WEMU. Boubacar Touré, first double-double to start a career off for the Eagles since 1998. Definitely a big man to keep your eye on for this year. James Thompson still looking for his first double-double, but he is no stranger to that stat line. He should have a great year and a good year for all the bigs. That's all we have for sports this week. Up next, we have Gabrielle Reed with Eagle Encounters, so we'll be back after this commercial break. My name is David Pierce Anderson.
When you come to Eastern, you're joining a family, and we want you to feel that we care about you. It's just a great community. Being here, it's just the perfect size, and I feel like I'm actually cared about here.
We are true EMU.
I am true EMU.
I am true EMU.
We are true EMU. 1, 2, 3. We are true EMU. We are a true EMU. What? I said it. Just hurry up.
My mom's birthday was coming up fast, so I needed to go out shopping for something quick. I needed to move money from my savings to my checking account so I could use my debit card at the mall. I cracked open my laptop, hit the bookmark from my bank, and entered in my username and password. What the heck? I got sent back to the home page. So I entered in my username and password again, made the transfer, and went to the mall where I found this cool little necklace for my mom. That's good news, right? The bad news is, the next week I went to make a purchase and they told me that I had insufficient funds to cover that purchase. Long story short, when I had logged into my bank the first time, I got redirected to a fake site that stole my username and password. I guess I got a virus that redirected my bookmark. The thieves had a field day with my account. I wish I had known then what I know now. You have to check and make sure you're really on your bank's website. This can be done by either recognizing an image you've selected or clicking a lock or VeriSafe icon and comparing the bank's web address to a web address you've got on our certificate. My name is Luke, and I'm trying to be e-safe.
Hello, Eagles.
Thanks for tuning in to another segment of Eagle Encounters. This weekend, there are so many educational yet entertaining events, so let's get into it. Today from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., the Diabetics program will be hosting on-campus group advising sessions. In these sessions, students can learn about the program and its career options. It will be held in Rackham Room 105. If you have any questions, contact Sandy Peckham. Also this afternoon, EMU will be holding free AA meetings in the Snow Health Center from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. If you or anyone you know needs help, every Wednesday, EMU offers people support in their recovery. For more information, contact Susan Wood. Now to lighten things up a bit, have you ever wanted to study abroad in a beautiful place like Spain? Well, now you might just have your chance. This Thursday, November 15th, from 11:30 a.m. to 12 p.m., breeze past the Student Center lobby and hear about 2 EMU students' experience studying abroad in Montenegro. It's never too early to get into the Christmas spirit, right? For some holiday fun, attend the Lights Before Christmas event at the Toledo Zoo. There will be food, fun, and a chance to hang out with EMU alumni. This will be happening from 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. on Saturday, November 17th. Now, whatever event you choose to attend this weekend, I hope you have tons of fun. As always, I am Gabrielle Reed, and this has been Eagle Encounters. Have a great one.
Thank you, Gabrielle. So, Natalia, how was your first day?
It went well, I think. I enjoyed it. Usually I'm behind the scenes making it all happen, so it was nice to sit up here today for a change.
I'm so glad to have you here.
Yeah, I'm
with
glad.
with the stress of finals and everything coming up, what are you doing over break to relax?
Well, I'm going home. Haven't been home in a couple months, so I'm excited to do that. There's still work to be done over break, but I'm making sure that I have time to relax. I'm going to make time for it.
Awesome.
Are you doing anything
Headed
special?
home also.
Yeah.
Also not been there in quite a bit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think we're all ready for a break and need a break.
Definitely.
So be sure to follow us on social media at ETV at EMU. You can watch all of our shows on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter whenever you want. That's all from us. I'm Natalia Escalante.
And I'm Sarah Potteracki. We'll see you after the Thanksgiving break.
Same passwords, or store them in a not-so-safe place. In doing so, you're putting your online accounts and data in danger of being compromised. The Eagle security package includes LastPass, an encrypted online password vault that can store all your usernames, passwords, and other personal information in one location. LastPass secures your login credentials using one master password, the last password you'll have to remember. Not only does LastPass store your login credentials, but it can automatically fill them in when you're logging into trusted websites. LastPass can also aid in the creation of strong, unique passwords and secure sensitive data such as addresses, credit cards, and personal notes. Since LastPass is encrypted and protected in the cloud, it's accessible wherever you are, through the LastPass website, a web browser extension, or the mobile app. LastPass makes password security easy. For more information about LastPass, visit tiny.emich.edu/LastPass.
True EMU.
We are true EMU.
I'll be right back. I told myself I'm just going to grab a quick drink. 2 minutes later, and everything was gone. My backpack, my laptop, my cell phone, my iPod. 2 minutes was all it took. I was lucky. The thief was eventually caught and I got it all back. But now that I had that happen to me, I realized that anything valuable has to be treated like cash. I'll never leave it out of my sight again. My name is Heather, and I'm trying to be safe.